Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. Now they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
The first carry down. This is Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big gain. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
On third down, Rosen. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. to throw now on 2nd and 10. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent... gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll wind up. And now it's 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is that now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he fires one, but incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Well, look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And this will get him all the way inside the Giants' 10. A big run there by Johnson, 41 yards. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal?
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
11 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now it's Rosen. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now a first carry for their fullback. The tackle will be credited to Jake.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why would... Was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends, and what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel, right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
Gone!
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
All right, now look at 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. Now they're staring at a 4th down as Arizona's defense does its job.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On second down, here's Rosen. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The result, a first down as a quick slant gets him 14. Rosen on 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. Screen play, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Again, it's Rosen. This will be caught at about the 6. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They'll run it with Johnson. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Open man right side is Ingram. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left, and this will be caught at the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Hassan Reddick in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down.
Season. It's week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Dak Prescott leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head to Hard Rock Stadium to check on the Dolphins at home in Miami. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who had the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home
you beat
at Heinz
man
Field.
like that?
And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. The Steelers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A first down carry for Barkley. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Green, 30.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And now another one thrown incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
You should pick up the first with him.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Set. 3-19.
1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Green, 39.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. And the grab by Croft. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. And now it's Rosen looking. And he's going to go down again. Kerry Wynn in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal. Now brings up a decision on 4th down.
Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Keeps himself, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Robert Kindici able to collapse the pocket and drop it for a loss of a yard. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well,
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Dayon Buchanan. He's the one to get in this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
Now, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there
Still
in the middle
down.
of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now it's Barkley. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On third down, Barkley. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a fourth down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that will push the lead up to 5. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Rosen. That is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And New York set to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
No, check, Patriot!
On second down, here's Barkley. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. The pitch goes to Barkley. And now running right through it. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now the Card's going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
All right, now, lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Sheds off the tackle. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The toss out to Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll go to Barkley again. And an alley to run. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Blue 90.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A huge play there for Arizona. 48 yards. And the spike comes here, and that stops the clock at 25 seconds. They go play action. It's Rosen. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this will be recovered by the Giants. And that ought to just about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.
Hello again, everybody. Coach, you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete, 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They go play action here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. First carry for Darius Geis, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Jordan Reed is one of the best route-running tight ends in the NFL, and it shouldn't be an accident because at one point he was a college quarterback. So at times when he runs routes downfield, I think he's doing it with quarterback eyes and almost in a sense is imagining himself catching a pass from himself.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but if they have any hopes of making waves in January, they've got to improve in this area.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
New York set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shot of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
This is how they will line it up defensively for Washington. Now they come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they are facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means this is going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Into the Redskins. Have it they do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect their patterns, these are going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try the air now with Smith. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Geis alone in the backfield here, second and goal. On the ground, Geis. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And Bryant's kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
We spent so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And a nice gain at 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Now, check. Patriot! Patriot!
Barkley, toss play left. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's a 3-point game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
Now a toss right to Barkley. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine. You know they trust him with the football.
Leopard! 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 Leopard!
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he is in! Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. And his kick is right through. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll try and get it with Geis. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop.
That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. A broken tackle on the run, and then just on the other side of midfield, they get to it. 8 yards here, so that gets them back within striking distance. And now it's third down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll look to throw to Barkley on the check down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Taken in at the 11. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. Smith on first down. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. As they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, Smith. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Smith, and he finds the tight end, Reed. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On first down, Smith. Flush to his right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
To throw on second down is Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, here's Smith. And Reed with it over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Looking to throw on second down. Smith. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And now it's second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Over!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on second. Now it's 3rd. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And it's the Cowboys on top as they play the second quarter. The Cowboys need to be about perfect in this stretch as they could get back to 500 at 6-6 with a win. From there, we head up to Kansas City. Check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Carson Wentz lighting things up. 3 touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. They start the second half with a run by Geis. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there out of Geis. 74. Yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll come out in the pistol. A shotgun snap for Smith, and that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A quick hitter complete. It's Shepard. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now on 1st down, he'll drop the throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Fancy footwork at the 45. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Hitting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
A handoff to Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down.
No. Check. Patriot.
They pitch it out to Montgomery. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Hurry up, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Gun!
Back to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Here's Barkley. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal.
Brandon, my evil, reckless brother's on my shoulder screaming, go for it, but I just knocked him off. You can't do that here. Field goal's a chip shot. Take the points. No way you can let this possession end without getting some points.
So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll drop to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
Play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about what the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Here's Smith now on second down. His throw incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And this is going to be incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan. in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That good for 19 at a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Time for a break. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Smith. And that is incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
And the Giants ready to come out now and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
To Barkley on the check down. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. So they get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Obviously a big 1st down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
Patriot!
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture? That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. PAT up and good by Rosas. They've gone final now out in Kansas City, and it was the Chiefs who emerged victorious. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, now he bowls him over. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Smith now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll look to throw. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And he'll stop the clock with 5 seconds to go there on the spike. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. One last throw here for Smith. Now a desperation throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he'll be stopped shy of the 14-yard line on the return. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Giants, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Washington,
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them in practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key in.
And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. How about to start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Ty Montgomery with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And he'll take this across the 25, the 27-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. Back to throw, Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Throwing is Stafford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the complete. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On the screen, Bernard. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a play fake here on first down. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Shepard. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough third and long coming up. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Shepard. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And they'll go with the ground attack here. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because They handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now they try the right side here. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taking you to 13. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy.
Wow.
But you know what else kicks in?
Defense.
His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Escaping the pressure right. And he whips that one incomplete there. The Giants on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and forever.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Lions now. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside.
He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 39 that time. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. Uses the stiff arm. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
That one goes for 24 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Stafford now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Throwing again is Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To the air again. Stafford throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. New York set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start with one of the best rivalries in the NFL, Dallas on the road in our nation's capital. And that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Bengals still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And it's the Cowboys that have moved out to an early advantage. Dak Prescott with 1 touchdown pass thus far. He'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 40. Put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw is Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going up top. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery, and the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play,
the right end, touchdown, New York. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. To return, here's Agnew. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So out now come the Lions. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown.
And he fires one that's intercepted. The former Rutgers safety, Devin McCourty, has it. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Over!
They'll drop to throw. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll set up a throw. He finds his target, Beckham. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet, they're going to go for it on 4th.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Running for it, Montgomery. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Ty Montgomery unable to get to the marker, and the Lions will take over. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Stafford now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Henry Anderson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And incomplete here on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a second straight play right at the line of scrimmage. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. He drops it off for Bernard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
If he indeed got it, he didn't get it by much. This is a great push up front, but I think the nose of the football does make it over the line to gain. And whoa, that was definitely cutting it close.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. On first down, it's Stafford. Underneath, this is Bernard. Whoosh. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
180.
Stafford on first down. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Right back to him on first down. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now they'll run it on the toss. Skirts by him at the 35. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Intentional grounding, offense.
In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice experience.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
That time, a 6-play drive, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
It really has, especially as of late. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now it's Stafford. That's complete. Bernard. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Now it's Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Stafford now to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. Now Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. And it was the Packers who were able to come away with a victory there. Aaron Rodgers, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Giants, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home.
I am about to end this stream. Okay.